This is a overview video of the KSi v3.2.1 Multiflow system. On your screen is the home page of the Multiflow system, and we are going to give a overview of this system, how it operates compared to the standard v3.2.1 automation system. As you can see on the top, the navigation bars are identical to the standard v3.2.1 system. We have the home screen, which is the screen we are on. It is the order screen, the screen that we would go to manage our orders, to run a job, to pause a job, to print our tickets. The screen menu, if we click on the screen menu, it's shown that we are selected. That is the menu we have selected. That brings up a sub-menu with screens we can navigate to. We have our tank 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12, and our tank fill screen. This is our tank 1 through 4 page. As you can see, we have our 4 bins here with information. We can access the information in those bins by clicking and selecting on that device. So if I press right on the bin, I put in the security code, which is 777. It'll open up my tank 1 setup parameters. I can view or make changes to this, and when I exit, it will save those changes back to the database. The scale page shows our 2 scale systems, our 2 scaling hoppers. We have scale A on the left and scale B on the right. We can see our underbin and our scale fill conveyor with a bypass valve above the 2 scales that will divert back and forth between the 2 scales. That divert valve will be automatically controlled by your automation system to fill the appropriate scale depending upon the sequence and where the system is at in the order process. It's going to, by default, always use scale A first and then scale B to complete the order if required. Again, this bypass valve will be automatically controlled. The next page is the treater page. The treater page is the same as any regular KSi AutoTreat system. We have the treater and the treater equipment, including the 4 pumps and tanks. This is where we go to calibrate and go in and set up our tanks. If we want to set up IPAC 1, we press on that tank anywhere on it, and it opens up the parameters for that. Same way with the drum. We can select the drum, and it'll open up the parameters window. And the loadout page. The loadout page shows us our discharge conveyor coming off of the treater and the treater drum itself, and the atomizer and the seed well. The other menu along the top is the support menu. The support menu has some quick guides, and the Contact KSi Automation button will bring up KSi Automation after hours number and our office number. The KSi menu is a menu that if you are talking to a KSi Automation tech, there is a likely chance that they will have you come to the system setup page to view some of your system parameters, system settings. And this is where you also go to set the date and time, and right here, and also the order to define your order unit sizes, and either whether that is a unit by pounds or a unit by seat count. You can come to this page to view that information or change that information. The system pause button is just a button that you press. If you press this button and you're running a job, it's going to pause your system. Wherever it's at, it's going to shut the equipment down and close the gates. And then when you press it again, it'll start back up where it was at. So let's return back to the home page and take a look at a little more details at the order page. As you can see on the order page, we have it looks like 2 separate orders that are showing on this page. There's an order on the left. If you can kind of see, it's got a green box around it, and an order on the right that has more of a yellow box around it. This order on the left is referred to as order A, and the order on the right is referred to as order B. These are basically two separate order engines on your multi-flow system that allows you to queue up a second order or get a second order ready to run as soon as the first order is finished. So if we break this down and just look at the order A, the order on the left, we have on the top, we have the order name and showing the seed information. This is going to be, this is pickup order name. The name of this order is called order name, and the source is 1, and it is the lot, seed lot is A1010, and the variety is called variety. Or I'm sorry, the variety is called test seed 1. We have an amount on this order of 0 pounds and a treating rate of 0 pounds per minute. Our customer is called operation name, and this is the customer information. And this information on the bottom is the treatment recipe information. On the bottom, we have a Manage Order button that if we click this Manage Order button, it opens up a window that allows us to search the database for a recipe using these search fields up on the top. If we know we have a recipe in the database called Pickup Order 2, and we search for Pickup Order 2 and press Search, it's going to pull from the database Pickup Order 2. At that point, we can choose to set that to Order A and exit, or set to Order B and exit. This is the window that you will come to also to edit your customers or load customers or create customers, as well as edit or add new recipes using the Manage Recipe tool. So if we select Manage Recipe, it will open up the Manage Recipe window that looks identical to the Manage Recipe window on the standard KSi AutoTreat v3.2.1 system. We can make our changes. We can click Save As to create a new recipe, or Save to save over top of the existing recipe that we currently have open. When we're done, we select the green check mark. This window also allows us to create a new pickup order. So if we have a new order that we need to create, we come to this page, we go into Manage Order, we type in the order name, we can give it a comment, we can select our bin and our rate, or I'm sorry, and our seed amount and our treating rate, and down on the bottom we have some options as it relates to the order. The load and hold button, if we create an order and have load and hold selected, when we do that and we start that job, it's going to start the job and bring the seed into the first scale and then stop the system. It's not going to fill the second scale. This load and hold feature is useful if you have a customer that calls you and says, I'm going to be there in 15 minutes and I'm in a hurry. I'd like you to have my seed ready to treat as soon as I get there. But you know that customer may or may not show up in 15 minutes, so you don't want to tie up your entire system in case he is a half hour late. So you press load and hold when you're creating that order, and it pulls in the order and fills scale A, but leaves scale B open. And so in the meantime, if a different customer shows up and wants his seed treated, you can run your system through your scale B, your open scale. It will batch. It will only be able to batch to that scale, but it at least allows you to utilize your system while you're still holding your other order in scale A. AutoTreat, this button here, is basically AutoTreat or disabled or enabled. If we are going to be using and operating the treater controls, this needs to be green. If we're bypassing the treater or we have just an auto batch system, this will be red. Scale shots, if we want to discharge from our scale in shots, we want this to be green and selected by pressing on it. If not, it needs to be red. And the auto loadout controls our discharge treater fill and treater discharge conveyors, automatically turns them on when it needs to and turns it off based on timers that you have set. These three buttons allow you to select between an order defined in pounds or units by pounds or units by seed count. So if we want to run 50 units based on a unit being based on 140,000 seeds per unit, we select this button here and type in our units amount over here. When we are done with this, we press the check mark. To exit out, we would go into Manage Customer, search for our customer using this field. We would press the clear button, which would clear all these values out. Type in the customer name or the first name and last name or the city, whatever we know about that customer, and press search. It'll pull that customer over from the database, and we can select them. We do the same thing for the recipe. We would go into the Manage Recipe window, select the recipe, and when we have this done, create this as a new recipe by clicking on the Save As button, which saves this order that we have created as a new pickup order to the database. And once we are done with that, we can press the Set Order A and exit. Over here on the right, then this Order B is the exact same thing as Order A on the left. We click the Manage Order button. If we do that now, I'll press that button. It's going to pull open the exact same window. We have the same functionality, the same tools that we do with when we went into it through the Order A. You can see though that it brought up the order that is currently in the Order B position. So we can search for an order, we can create an order, and we can set it to Order B. The database, if we go look at the database, looks exactly, KSi AutoData database is the same whether it's multi-flow or non-multi-flow. If we go look at our, if we want to add a pickup order, we can do that by going to Add Pickup Order, and we can give it an order name, Test Order 85. We'll say 50 units. We want to define this by seed count units. The treating rate, we'll say we'll treat this at 1,800 pounds per minute. We'll want to enable treatment, turn on our automatic loadout control. We want to not enable shot control. We're going to just discharge it all from the scales every time. We're going to select a customer. We will select KSi Seed Farms. Seed source, we will do tank 1. The recipe, we will do full treatment. The username will be the AutoTreat operator, and we can select the date we created it. We can save this order, and it will be in the pickup orders. So that was test order 55. So if we come back here and we want to load test order 55, we know that's the order we want to run. We go into Manage Order, and so it's going to load the order that was in Order A position. As soon as that is done, we can click up here on the search, order by name, and that was test 85. And press search. So now it's going to go to the database, find that order called test order 85, and pull that order over onto the touchscreen. As you can see, it has pulled over the order, 50 units based on seed count. You can see that's the selection. AutoTreat is enabled. Auto loadout is enabled. The customer is KSi Seed Farms, and we have full treatment. So I want to set this order to position A and exit. When I do this, this order on the left is going to be populated with that order. And I am now ready to run that order by pressing Master Start and Tank 1 Enable. Once I am done with that order, I will come back here, and this System Print button will turn into Master Print, and I would print that order to my slip ticket printer, and then I also have the choice to print it to an 8.5 by 11 printer that is installed on my database computer. That transaction will also show up in the Pickup Transactions table. If I go to Pickup Transactions, print Pickup Transactions table in the database, that order would show up in this location. Obviously, I did not run that order, so that order will not be here, but you can see these are the orders that I have run on this system. Down here along the bottom, we have Global Auto, System Pause, and the System Status button. The Global Auto button, this turns all your devices to auto. This is an important button to press if you have been running anything in hand or servicing anything. We want to make sure that all your devices are in auto. The system pause button, this is a big button that does the exact same thing as the system pause button up at the top of the screen. You can press it in either location. Let's move to the scale screen and talk just a little bit about the dual scales. As you can see, as we've already discussed, we have two scales here. We have scale A on the left and scale B on the right. These scales, if we press and hold or press and click on the scale itself, it's going to open a parameters window for scale A. This is where I set the batch capacity for that scale, the how long we're going to give the system to fill, the empty tolerance, the empty time, and then how long to let the discharge conveyor run after this is empty. The important number I want to look at here is the scale batch capacity. Our multi-flow system comes in two different sizes, 120 units or 65 units. Batch capacity on a 120 unit hopper would be 6,000 pounds max. So we would set this at maybe 5,500. So then anything over 5,500 pounds, the system is not going to put in this scale. It's going to switch over to scale B and fill scale B. If we go look at scale B, we'll want to also make sure that the scale capacity on scale B is set to 5,500 pounds as well. So let's say that we have an order, we have 5,500 pound capacity. Let's say we have an order for 30,000 pounds. Your system is going to fill scale A up to 5,500 pounds. It'll clean out your conveyors in between each batch. It'll clean out your conveyors. This bypass valve will switch to scale B automatically. It'll open up your bin gate and begin filling scale B up to 5,500 pounds. Once scale B has reached 5,500 pounds, after the conveyors have cleaned out, the bypass valve will switch back to A, fill A. So with this system, what we have to do, as long as we can fill the scale faster than we can treat it, then your system will allow you to continuously treat and fill. With the capacity of our conveyors, typically we see being able to treat at rates up to 2,500 pounds per minute or greater, depending on the incline of this conveyor, 2,500 to 3,000 pounds per minute. So keeping up with the treating system on the fill side is not typically an issue. And it will cycle back and forth between it'll cycle back and forth to complete the entire 30,000 pound order. And once it is done, it'll stop on the last scale and complete the order, and you can return to your home page and print that ticket. Now once that job is complete, you can have it, while that job is running, you can have an order set up and ready to run in your order B. And as soon as the last batch is being treated for the first order, for this order, you can press Master Start and enable your bin for this order that you have up here in yellow. And it's going to just go ahead and start filling the second order while your previous order finishes treating. Now it's not going to automatically discharge this second order into the treater. When it gets ready to treat, it's going to ask the operator to confirm that you are ready to treat, and it will at that point treat the second order. So that concludes our V3.2 multi-flow, KSi V3.2 multi-flow system.